Equipment rebalancing. We just started recording. I'm going to upload this. Old School will be 8 years old soon. Can you believe it? And it's astonishing how much combat has developed over the years. Regular updates have introduced all sorts of new items to the scuffle, whatever that means. But to avoid the dreaded power creep, we've generally leaned toward offering niche items as rewards rather than introducing more powerful weaponry. That being said, it's becoming more difficult to balance new rewards around existing content without trivializing old challenges. A lot of existing item requirements don't reflect their strength, a fact that the community has been discussing for some years now. We hear you, and we've been working on a proposal that we think will benefit the game's long-term health. With combat achievements around the corner, it feels like the perfect moment to bring this project forward. We recently ran a survey tackling this issue, and you said yes, so we're ready to work with you on the exact changes we'll be making. We appreciate these alterations will impact many players, and certain account builds will be more negatively affected than others. But the long-term health of the game must be our focus. Thank you. We must give you the opportunity to have your say, so please take the time to read through all the changes and provide feedback using the links on the bottom of this blog. All right, let's do this. Our survey says, and what up, everybody? This is live for those that don't understand the chat. So listen, guys, if you have anything extremely important, this is very serious right now, so don't test me. Don't cross me today. But if you have something important to say, at me. If you don't have something important to say, don't at me, okay? We recently asked players how they felt about power creep and its impact on Old School's long-term health. We intentionally avoided outlining our specific plans to gather a general overview of your feelings. We definitely got that. Over 10,000 responses. Blinded. Okay, thank you. Okay, I gotta pause. Okay, no more alerts for right now. Everyone just calm down. This is being recorded right now, so everyone just calm down. Everything's paused, but still keep donating and stuff. Over half of those surveyed started power creep and something they think about and felt that power creep existed within Old School. Most players felt that power creep isn't a major problem in Old School right now. However, over half of those surveys were worried about the long-term health of Old School because of the power creep. Almost all those surveyed would like to see undesirable equipment improved to encourage variety. Almost half of those surveys would not like to see powerful equipment weakened. All right. Hey, guys. Where is your mace? It's coming. Don't worry, guys. Okay. Our survey also included, we think that recent updates have been hard to balance because of the presence of many powerful items in the game. Mostly at tier 75, we think that for the long-term health of the game, we should implement the following changes. Tweak the stats and effects of some powerful equipment so they don't dominate the meta. Tweak the stats and effects of some undesirable equipment to encourage more gameplay variety. Reassess the item tiers to better reflect the power of the item. Our approach to adjusting existing powerful equipment will be driven by assessing its power, value, and rarity. We can summarize our stance as, we think that items are more widely available to players are more problematic if they dominate the meta. These changes would be considered integrity changes and therefore would not be pulled. Sit the fuck down, everybody. Over half of those surveyed supported our proposal and believed it necessary. Over half of those surveyed felt the proposal should be pulled. Well, half ain't 75%, you know. All right. Remember, guys, if you have something very important to tell me, to add to the discussion in a positive and uplifting manner, then at me. Otherwise, I'm just going to ignore it because I want to focus on this right now. All right. Regarding power creep, owing to the sheer number of responses received, we can't respond or share every opinion given, but many really interesting points were raised. Items like the Toxic Blowpipe, Twisted Bro, Scythe of Viter garnered the most power creep related concerns. Scythe is not power creep. That is the most expensive bullshit to use. Players want more weapon and gear variety, noting that that only scimitars are viable in training, for training, and that most of the meta gear is too expensive for the average player. Lots of players asked whether weapons in the level 75 category should be moved up to 80, 85, and the sentiment was that too many powered weapons are easy to use for low-level players, and that it doesn't make sense to access everything at 75. All right. Okay, shed no tears. I get what they did there. See what they did there? It's not actually tears. Hi, Pokemon. Okay. Some of the most powerful weapons in Old School have requirements much lower than their perceived or actual strength. This has left little room for new weapons to be introduced without causing power creep. And now many players feel confused about how strong some items actually are. We don't have many options when it comes to equipment tiers in Old School. So we like to simply adjust the requirements of certain items to better match their stats, helping to expose gaps for us to add snazzy new items in the future. Grazi Rapier. It's currently 75, changing it to 80. Blade of Saildor, 75 to 80. Inquisitor's Mace, 75 to 80. Trident of a Swamp, 75 to 78. Sanguinesi, 75 to 82. Kodai Wand, 75 to 80. The basic Nightmare Staff without Norb, 65 to 72. With the Norb, 75 to 82. Dragon Hunter Crossbow, 65 to 70. Dragon Hunter Lance, 70 to 78. I really think this Dragon Hunter Crossbow should be maybe increased to like 78. The thing's fucking powerful. Anyway, unless they nerf it, we'll see if they're planning to nerf it. I just like glimpsed through here before actually like starting to read this, and I saw some nerfs. So let's see. Scythe of Viter, 75 to 85. Okay. Nerfing the nerf. Wait, what was? These are 80, and then Scythe is 85. Okay. Requirements aside, there are some items that are simply too powerful. I'm just another clarification, guys. What up, Drum? I am just going to be reading this. I'm actually recording right now, so if there's anything very important, at me. And if you're just saying hi, just put a Sebe H in the chat. There we go. Okay, Nate is not Faceguard. Simply put, the Nate is not Faceguard is a little too powerful. Thank you. I've been saying this since day fucking negative, like day negative a month, because before it was released, I was like, this is too powerful. And I posted on Reddit about how it was too powerful. And you know what they did? I got negative upvotes. Like, everyone downvoted it to oblivion. And I think my idea was perfect. But nobody fucking listens. Now you're getting integrity changed, bitch. Simply put, the Nate is not is most powerful. Okay, go. Current strength bonus, +6. Proposed, +5. That's it? What? What? That's it? That's all you're changing. Okay. In addition to the face guard adjustments, we'd like to make changes. We currently require a relatively low Slayer level of 60 to fight, yet their stats suggest otherwise. The special attack would be removed from the base Basilisk Knights. Okay, they're literally just changing. The defensive stats would be reduced. The special attack of Sentinel would be updated so it can't be broken with auto-retaliate. Interesting. Twisted Bow. Generally, we're happy with where the Twisted Bow sits. You know what? I need to give my thoughts on this. Honestly, the Nate is not face guard. They could have kept the +6 strength. They really could have. +5 is actually better, I will admit. But what they needed to do was, like, seriously give some sort of negative to it. Like, negative magic and negative range attack. Because it's like silly how like really good it is, and there's no negatives whatsoever in it, and there's prayer, and there's a lot of defense. It's like, why is there +3 magic defense? Like, the thing's made of fucking metal. Anyway, Twisted Bow. Generally, we're happy with where the Twisted Bow sits against monsters with high magic level. Its power is unmatched, but this also means it isn't the best option for every monster you encounter, making it easier for us to balance new challenges around it. We can ensure a creature is weak to range in general, but not particularly vulnerable to the Twisted Bow. So these are relatively minor changes. We'll update the requirements to better reflect the item's strength and remove the prayer bonus, which doesn't really fit considering it's not a godly item. Huh? Current requirement 75, proposed 85. Current prayer bonus 4, proposed prayer bonus 0. Okay, that's literally all we're changing. Just get rid of the prayer bonus. That's totally fine. All right. Dragonhide armor. God, no. Dragonhide armor has been notoriously powerful for an incredibly low cost for a long time. It offers high defensive bonuses, especially against magic attacks with negligible negative stats to offset this. The armor generally goes against the combat triangle. It doesn't follow the same stat distribution as similar ranged armors. We'd like to address this by lowering the overall defensive bonuses of Dragonhide with a focus on melee defense. Okay, let's see this. Black D'hide body. Wait, what's the proposed? Okay, so here's this. is the current, and this is the proposed. So 50 or 30 was the range. So all the attack is staying the same. That's good. Nothing's changing on attack bonuses on any of them. Defensive, they're severely nerfing that. Honestly, these are fine. They're lowering each one by... This one should have stayed 27. As long as they don't touch crystal armor. Like, crystal armor should be better than black d'hide. I propose that they should just buff crystal armor, but it should be fine. This is not pulled. This is an integrity change. Okay, other than that, so they've literally just severely reduced the melee defense, which is totally fine. And the magic and range defense have just been lowered by like 5. Van braces. Okay, yeah, we're lowered a little bit. Okay, that's the only change. As the issue with Dragonhide is most prevalent in PvP, focusing the challenges on its melee defense capabilities will encourage players to try different armor pieces to make up for the loss in stats, all while having a much lower impact on players focusing on PvM encounters. This naturally balances the combat triangle, as typically higher melee defense items are susceptible to magic attacks. That's fine. What up, Defy? And Colsey. And Spice Mafia and Hamster and Old and West and Eunuch and Bear Beer. What up, Chang? Okay. We're recording this, by the way, so no questions. If it's a very important question, at me. If it's not, just put a Sebe H in the chat, and you'll know I love you. Din's Bulwark. Din's Bulwark has incredibly high defensive bonuses with 0 negative bonuses to offset them, completely going against the combat triangle. Whilst it has some uses in PvM, they are very limited. The main issue with the shield is in PvP. We'd therefore like to make the following changes. Adding negative 25 magic defense. Jesus Christ. Just fuck this shield up. Alright. Reduce melee defense bonuses by 25%. Huh? Like, okay. Whatever. Okay. Don't use the shield, guys. It's a piece of shit. Literally, like, just don't even use the shield anymore. When you're training prayer or doing anything, just don't use it. Alright. Literally negative 25 magic. You are actually going to get just frozen a lot more. Like, just never use the shield, ever. Anyway. This would cause the Din's Bulwark to be very high range defense item, except you didn't increase the range defense on it. You left it the same, so, like, stop saying, oh, it's so great. It's always been that way. A high melee defense item and a detrimental magic defense item, which is fine. I agree with the combat triangle, but at least make the range defense like crazy. Like raise that by 25 if you're going to lower the magic by 25. The shield is not that OP. People just use like Zareshin's robes against it and then they start whining. So, but whatever. Okay. Toxic Blowpipe, requiring 75 ranged to wield. The Toxic Blowpipe is the go-to option for many, or maybe even most, PvM situations. In terms of raw damage output, it's leaps and bounds better than previous tiers of weaponry, Carol's Crossbow, Crystal Bow, and outperforms some of the best in slot setups for other attack styles, even when using low-tier darts such as Mithril or Adamant. When the Toxic Blowpipe was originally pulled, we intended an attack speed of 3 game cycles, and then you fucked it up and put 2 instead and didn't change it and didn't say a word. Due to an oversight with its introduction, when using the rapid attack style, it was released with an attack speed of 2 game cycles. Like, okay, well, it's fine. Many players have called for it to be slowed, but if you played in the recent Trailblazer League, you'll know that altering the attack speed of a weapon completely changes how gameplay feels. We'd like to avoid this. The Blowpipe is an important part of Old School, so rather than remove it altogether, we'd like to propose some changes that will allow it to remain viable in many situations, whilst still providing room for other ranged items to take the spotlight. All right. What up, Rolly? What up, Noel? What up, Por Favor? What up, Smork? Okay, let's see what they've changed. So this is the current. This is the proposed. 60 accuracy, 30 accuracy. And it's going from 40 range strength to 25 range strength. God damn. All right. The high attack speed of the blowpipe definitely contributes to its strength, but its real benefits lie with its accuracy, which is then increased further with the darts you use. As such, we'd like to rebalance the stats of those darts as follows. Okay. Old strength. So the strength of dragon darts is all the strength is okay. Not all the strength is staying. Adamant and lower is getting nerfed, or adamant to iron is getting nerfed, and bronze is still one. Dragon stays the same. That's good because they're expensive as hell. Accuracy is getting reduced on all of them. This is honestly fine, except I'm nervous about this range strength changing. Like, it's getting nerfed by 25 range strength. Isn't that like 3 max hits at least? Or 4? Because I know they're not changing the darts, but like that's still getting nerfed like pretty heavily. 15 range strength. I know, but like I see it's 15, but how many or what did I say? How many max hits is that? 5 max hits? Isn't that more like 3 or 4? I don't know. I don't know how max hits work off the top of my head. You lose like 5. It's 10. 15 max hits. Okay. I don't know about that, guys. Calm down. Anguish is plus 5 range strength. And how many max hits does that give? 1 or 2? It'll hit zeros. Okay. These changes would make the toxic blowpipe the best range weapon for low defense targets in most circumstances, whilst providing us the opportunity to release high defense monsters in future where higher accuracy weapons such as crossbows and crystal bow will surpass it. That is awesome. I've always advocated for a nerf of the blowpipe. So, Anguish gives like 2 to 3 max hits. Okay, so are we talking with like a T-bow though? Like when it's hitting like 82s and then it reduces by 3? Because blowpipe only ever hits like up to like 40 something. We'll see though. We'll see the calcs. Somebody will come out with it. But this is honestly fine. The reason is because crossbows are just dog shit, you know? You know what's also crazy about this is that, or no, never mind. But yeah, like crossbows have always just been garbage, and so the crossbows might get like a niche of their own, which is cool. Okay, this will change which items are considered best in slot for certain encounters based on internal testing. We'd like to provide some examples on how these changes would impact specific face-offs. Bandos, melee will generally surpass the toxic blowpipe. That's awesome. Unless defense reducing specs are involved. Okay. Zulrah, toxic blowpipe will still remain the best option for Zulrah's blue phase if you don't own a twisted bow. Toxic blowpipe will no longer be the best weapon for players who have not obtained any Dragon Hunter crossbow or Dragon Hunter weaponry. The use of a dragon or armadillo crossbow will surpass the toxic blowpipe when reducing special attack misses. Defense reducing special attack misses. Using the toxic blowpipe with higher accuracy ranged armor will have higher DPS with the full Void Knight armor set, as range accuracy now matters with the blowpipe. However, the Dragon Armadillo crossbow will still be popular for the damage-reducing effects of an anti-dragon shield. Interesting. Fight caves. Melee will have higher DPS than the toxic blowpipe against higher defense monsters within the cave, but the ranged has the benefit of higher uptime. We anticipate melee will be utilized more by those looking to optimize their completion speeds. If those players do not have a twisted bow. Okay. Interesting. So metas are changing. That's fine. You know, some records are going to be records and never get beat. Buffing the bad. I was going to say, did that just say Dragon Hunter crossbow? That is not bad. That is not a bad weapon, but it's not. Dragon Bone Necklace and Bone Crusher Necklace. Considering their requirement, the Dragon Bone Necklace and Bone Crusher Necklace are very weak items. While they have some uses in super niche situations, on multiple occasions you've asked us to buff them. We'd look to make the following changes. Reduce prayer requirement from 80 to 70. Remove a delay before the special effect activates. Increase the base stats similar to those offered by an Amulet of Glory with fewer defense and strength bonuses. Okay, so here's their current Dragon Bone, Bone Crusher, and here's their proposed. Okay. So giving it 10 attack, so it's like a glory. Same with the Bone Crusher necklace. Both these. Wait, what's the difference? Oh, this one gives melee strength. Wait, what? Silver. Oh, yeah, because you just attach a Hydra tail to it, right? So that's not increasing any stats. So they're exact same stats. So they're getting changed equally, but the Hydra tail... I can't even remember what the Hydra tail does. I've never used this weapon. I have it. I've just never used it. All right, cool. Well, that's fair, I think. What do you guys think? That's fair. Crystal armor and crystal bow. Even after toxic blowpipe changes, crystal armor and the crystal bow are still stuck with fairly underwhelming performance in relation to their high requirement and maintenance cost. Currently, crystal armors have a special set effect where each piece will give a 3% damage boost and 6% accuracy boost to the crystal bow. If all pieces are worn, the player receives a 15% damage boost and 30% accuracy boost. We'd like to make the following changes. Increase the damage bonus with the crystal bow when wearing a full crystal armor from 15 to 20%. Okay. I got to go reclaim my crystal armor because I literally... what's it called when you take it apart? I dismantled all the armor and I sold it for crystal shards so I could open a few chests. I was desperate, and I realized this change is probably going to come, but I was thinking like 2023, 2024. Anyway, but now it's happened, so yikes. This change, in addition to the toxic blowpipe changes, will solidify the crystal armor and bow set as a viable option for higher defense creatures. That's cool. I like that. Especially where range damage is relevant. Additional changes. There's a huge variety of armor and weaponry available to us, yet most armor-clad champion wandering Gillinor in search of adventure looks practically the same. The section focuses on improving the diversity of kit availability, or of kit available, giving more purpose to lower-level equipment in particular. Warhammers. Warhammers are slow, weaker than longswords, and are completely outclassed by battle axes, even though they share the same attack speed. We'd like to propose the following changes. So this is kind of like, I'm not going to understand exactly their buffs. I'm glad they're doing this, and I trust that they'll make them balanced. But literally, like, them telling me the current stats to what they're going to go to, like, it's just, it doesn't matter to me. But we'd also like to make the Dragon Warhammer require 60 strength to equip rather than attack for consistency. Okay, that's cool. So basically, Rune Warhammers are keeping the accuracy, but the strength is being like heavily buffed, which is cool. Maces, spears, and hoste. These weapons have similar bonuses to their scimitar counterparts, but their lower attack speed makes them significantly worse to use. We'd like to propose the following for bronze to runed maces, spears, and hoste. Changing it from 5 game cycles to 4. That's brilliant. That's awesome. Scimitar was just too powerful for too long, which is iconic in a way, but I think it's good. Why did I go to the bank? I only use like 7. Metal armor, lighter armor than chain bodies, med helms, and square shields are completely outclassed by their counterparts, plate bodies, full helms, and kite shields. They are meant to be a more viable choice for those wanting additional defense without reducing your ranged accuracy. Okay. These heavier armor pieces provide too small a bonus ranged attack. These heavier armor pieces provide too small a bonus ranged attack negative to justify. Is that English? To justify using anything else and go against the combat triangle. Okay. We'd like to propose the following. Increase the negative range attack bonus by 50% for all plate bodies, full helms, kite shields. Remove a negative range attack bonus for all med helms and square shields. That's cool. Another giving niches to weapons. Again, like, only noobs are going to be using these in the first place. And realistically, you never need to use any of this garbage, because if you know how to prayer flick, you just get 43 prayer and then like everything's fine. Like, you don't, defense doesn't matter. Defense never matters in this game anyway. But okay, that's cool. Yeah, you guys get it. Yeah, you guys know you guys know what's happening. Your feedback matters. We understand that the rebalancing of equipment is going to generate a lot of dialogue. That's exactly what we want, and we hope you'll work with us to make sure we're doing the right thing. We mentioned earlier that we'd like to make these changes before the release of combat achievements, but we'd also encourage you to think a bit further into the future. It's nearly 3 years since the release of Theater of Blood, and it's no secret that we want to release a third raid with exciting new rewards. These crucial balancing changes will help mitigate power creep and secure the health of the game for years to come. Naturally, we expect discussion as to why these changes aren't being pulled. After all, more than half of the survey responders felt that we should pull these changes. The short, honest answer is that this change must happen, and if it were to be pulled and fail, then it would be explicitly detrimental to the game's health. I agree. Hamster, calm down. Rest assured, we are hell-bent on working closely with you to finalize the changes we make, and your feedback will be crucial in guiding us. Please share your thoughts using the links below. All right, guys, listen. Right now, before I end the recording, I'm going to get your guys's... let's just increase this a little bit. So now, you guys are on the recording, so no bullshit. Stop. That's fine. Okay, listen. You guys can ask questions now for the rest of the recording. So any questions, comments, at me. Don't at me with bullshit. You'll be found out. My YouTube viewers will see you and they'll hate you for doing that. Blowpipe nerf thoughts. I think it's fine. It's still a really powerful weapon, but you know how like melee was getting to the point where melee was just irrelevant if you had a blowpipe with dragon darts? You just use blowpipe with dragon darts everywhere. It's still gonna be good, but at least melee has now, like, you know, it's like actually good. So, but at me if you guys want questions. Thoughts on Din? Stupid. I think that's really stupid, but it does agree with the combat triangle, which is fine. The thing is, if they wanted to do that, like, the shield is just really bad now. It's like actually really bad. Don't use it. Din still has a use in PVM, but like they should have like drastically made the range defense like crazy. It's a two-handed weapon where you can't attack. The range should have been buffed by like at least 25 or 30. Jesus Christ. Are you happy with these changes weren't pulled? I am happy. What's going to be the Taub meta post blowpipe nerf? I don't know. I don't do Taub. You'll probably still use blowpipe, I'm assuming, but T-bow is going to be very good for end game content like TOB. What would you add to the list? Good question. Let me get back to you. Serp, Nate. Jesus Christ. Guys, calm down. Serp, Nate, almost everywhere now. No. Nate is not equal with strength. Nate is not still going to be great. Serp is just still usable. What do you think about changing the level requirements? So you could actually use a Serp at TOB now. What do you think about the changes? Changing the level requirements. I think that's great. It literally makes like no difference hardly, and it helps noobs realize, okay, a T-bow's actually the highest end of this. It keeps like new players in the game like knowing what like a good weapon is, just like seeing their item stats. Like having everything the same, you'd almost think they're all like equally good as a noob. Can you tell the mod team to stop ruining the gamer? Or Isaac, this is a good change for the most part. How does this affect the LLC versus the HLC? What about the MLC? Buffing the bad, not including the Elder Maul. Thoughts? I think, you know what? I think the J-mods listened to me about my Elder Maul suggestion. I'm gonna push that. I'm literally gonna make a ramble exclusively on that Elder Maul Onyx thing. Do you think they gonna wipe PBs like Inferno? That's a good question. I'm not sure on that. Thoughts on making Arclight best in slot everywhere while nerfing everything else? Here's the thing about Arclight. It's a chargeable weapon. I'm surprised nobody's asking why the Dragon Hunter Lance it hasn't been nerfed or anything. Dragon Hunter Lance and the Dragon Hunter Crossbow are fucking ridiculously OP. And the Dragon Hunter Lance takes no charges whatsoever. Dragon Hunter Lance should be charged with like Dragon Bones or some bullshit, because that thing is horribly OP and it's free. Like, you just use it. So Arclight being charged with something and it's good, but it's not crazy good. I mean, it's still best in slot, but like a Rapier's just barely behind it, you know? So like Dragon Hunter Lance needs to be looked at before an Arclight, in my opinion. Keep the nerfs. Take away everyone's Infernal Cape because they're all invalid. Yes. No. Can you use your special agenda powers to make Blowpipe nerf go away? Absolutely not, and I don't want it to go away. Did they go a little bit too hard on it? Maybe, but we'll have to see. Do you think they're going to wipe... Or, I already read that. I'm not sure on that, literally. Do you think they're going to remove all Inferno Capes? Hopefully, so we can all just be cheesers again and not have this ego about us. Any place where you use crystal armor now? Yeah, a lot of places, actually. The crystal bow is going to be pretty damn good. Like... T-bow, if you're comparing it to a T-bow, you know, you're still going to use a T-bow over it. But, like, I'm thinking even in the Inferno, like, crystal armor with that crystal bow is going to be pretty damn good to use. Just because the Blowpipe's so nerfed. I think Blowpipe's still going to be better. And then if you have a T-bow, that's good. But, like, if you don't have a T-bow, you might as well just bring crystal armor and crystal bow the whole time. Thoughts on them stating that they will most likely... make T-bow not useful for future bosses since it fills the meta slot already. Did they say that? Lance is 95 Slayer. It takes a week from account creation to make an arc light. Yeah, but like you understand, like a Dragon Hunter Lance kills like the most profitable dragon in the game, like Vorkath. And it's no charges. I mean, you could say Arclight, you know, takes that, which I agree. Like, I agree. Arclight's pretty easy to get, but you can't just start using it everywhere when you're a super low level in a week because you have no fucking ancient shards. So, good luck, like, maintaining that. Thoughts on an easier to obtain trident or lower level trident for irons? Don't we have Ibans? Isn't it basically like a trident now because it doesn't use autocast? Or it does, but, like, it just stays with it. Do you mean like a 4-tick one? 36 hours later, my power's back on GD. That's irrelevant to the conversation, but nice. Okay, I want to go back to the question. What would I add to the list? My add to the list is my suggestion for the Elder Maul, but that takes a lot more, like... I think that it deserves its own blog, an exclusive blog for itself. Another thing I'd add to the list is probably... Good question. Honestly, I think Inquisitors needs a buff, a further buff. I know it's already been buffed, but I think it needs an actual, like, another buff. And that buff is to make it not 1% damage per piece worn, or not 0.5, but make it 1% damage per piece worn. And make the full set, instead of a 2.5%, give it like a 4 or 5% even. Damage and accuracy, because it's the squishiest armor to ever wear. It's extremely expensive and it takes a long ass time to get. And currently, when you wear 1 or 2 pieces of the armor, it will never, under any circumstance, ever give a max hit ever. So it's just the fact that they've said Inquisitor's armor gets a 0.5 damage and accuracy. The 0.5 accuracy is the only thing that's getting any sort of buff, and it's so minuscule it makes no difference. But the 0.5 damage, if you wear 2 pieces, that 1% damage will never give you a max hit. So it does zero, absolutely zero DPS in any situation ever in the game, except if you wear the full set. Then it gives bonuses. So like they need to increase that to 1% per piece, so it's 2% with 2 pieces and 4 or 5% for the full set. That's what I would include. Do you agree they should add Inquisitors to the list and make it tier 65, 70? If they made my changes, maybe. I'm new here. Can you go over to the Elder Maul suggestion again? Yeah, I will make a ramble on it. Like, literally, I want to go into it, and I want to make it clean looking and give people a fair shot of agreeing with my agenda. So stay tuned, exclamation YouTube. This is all going to be on YouTube, too. So everyone that's chatting right now, you guys are literally famous. How bad will Blowpipe nerf affect Inferno? Good question, honestly. You should probably get your Infernal Cape, like, now, like, today. Yeah. Or, I don't know. I think Crystal Armor is going to be pretty good. Jesus Christ, where it happened. Add Onyxes to Inquisitor to give it more defense. No, I have a different idea, and that's the Elder Maul. A user response to someone asking about Blowpipe nerf and Inferno was, the Inferno can be completed without the Blowpipe, but it will definitely impact completion speeds. Yeah. No, and so this even further basically confirms that the combat achievements that come out, there's no way it's going to be like a sub 55 Inferno or anything for that. I'm pretty sure it's going to be what I said initially, sub 65 will be the requirement. Okay, any other... What up, Handsome Plumley? What up, Bleak? What up, Investigator? What up, Van? What up, Simon? What up, Mom? What up, Goomba? What up, Porfavor? What up, 1G? What up, A Big Tree? I always want to call you Abby. What up, Mom? What up, J-Man? What up, Isaac? What up, Researcher? What up, Toph? Okay, should we stop this recording now, or do you guys have any more questions? I'm recording and I'm uploading this to YouTube for those that missed it. Yep. Public shaming. I'm sorry, man. Don't be toxic here, man. Okay. What up, Brocco? When would you guess these balances changes will come into effect? Good question. I think in the coming, like, 2 to 3 weeks, actually. I think, like, the first week of February. The first, like, game week of February, I think. Buff out. What up, Al? What up, Van? Opinions on DN. What's DN? So the Inferno world record just before the update will stay forever. Good question. I don't know. Is your branding copyright infringement? Winnie the Pooh. Don't talk about that in my video. And Winnie the Pooh is 100 years old, so all copyright's gone, right? Winnie the Pooh's 100 years old, right? Hopefully. What up, Finland? Okay, any other like actual questions relating to this? They better reset all completion times. We'll have to see. At me if you guys have a question. Anyone want to do a 12? Okay, what am I reading? Are we good here? Are we good here, guys? Because I think we've basically talked about it. I don't want to make this too long. So we'll end the video here, guys. Thanks for listening. Put your comments in the YouTube comments down below. Give the video a like. And be sure to sub. And everyone, what the fuck? Exclamation YouTube. What is happening? Right there. Click that. And like the video and always sub, yeah. February. I think first week of February they'll change it. Okay, guys. Take it easy. Peace.